with officers' commands. Every time we attempted to bring our sound truck up to give a dispersal order, they would run to another street and leapfrog. So ultimately, we were able to corral a group that seemed to be a problematic group, maybe over 100 people that were left as part of the rambunctious group who were throwing objects at police, shooting fireworks. Police, unfortunately, were not able to positively identify some of the individuals because they were shooting from behind a crowd, projectiles at officers. Were you able to arrest anybody in that crash? Yeah, we have a few different mobile field force groups going right now. I've learned of one arrest for a person that used some sort of aerosol device and lit a match, like a flamethrower, an improvised flamethrower, a homemade one, and that person was arrested for that charge. The specific charge I don't know. I know that there were several other people who were detained and cited for failing to disperse off the roadway, so that was traffic citations. So that's all I know at this time. Now, a dispersal order was given, and I have to join the other group right now, but we're in the process of dealing with the group that was given a lawful dispersal order, and if they fail to disperse the people that were here on Main, they have now, I believe, gone to one of the nearby streets, which I need to catch up to the group, but if they fail to disperse, they can be lawfully arrested because they failed to obey the dispersal order. Thank you, Captain Chief. Yeah, it's Stephen
Was that other mic on the whole time? That's a bummer. What's up, folks? Darlene in the house. All right. I had to listen back to that a second. Excuse the cough. Excuse the lung hack. Help. Do 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 do. They're eating the dogs. Yeah, that, what is it, pitch bend. It's kind of cool. It's like a vibrato bar because I've never played with a, I had one guitar that had a Floyd Rose. The harmonics on this guitar aren't great. The action is. Yeah, the dog's probably. Yeah, Toby probably doesn't care for the noise much. Like Roscoe, nothing bothers Roxy. I don't know why, which is great, but Roscoe cannot stand fireworks or guns going off. And he doesn't really care for, he's gotten more used to storms, like he's figuring out that there's a difference. And I don't know what it is, man. I'll be fucking, when I'm home alone, I'll be fucking blasting the music. And it's just thumping, and they'll hang out right up here with me. Even though I know it's got to bother them. Wow, wow. That's awesome, darling. I appreciate it. I think that's a good yeah, I like that song, The Keeper, too. I think if folks listen to some of my shit a couple times, they'll be addicted. As long as there's not any singing. I'm struggling figuring out guitar leads for some of this stuff that I've wrote recently, though. Hey Bear, what's up, sister? Cheers to you! Woo! Dogs of war, a man on the break. I finally learned Razmanaz by Nazareth the other night. God, that's a cool tune. We gotta get it together. You bring the wine, we'll bring the weather. We didn't come to be clever. This could be now. Let's make it now, 'cause this could be never. We gonna resonate you tonight. We gonna resonate you all night. I always felt like that was a pretty unknown song to most folks by Nazareth, because, Hair of the Dog and what is there? Starlight or Starbright or whatever. You got the loving that I like. This flight tonight. That is a cool tune for such a like a rough rock and roll band. For the vocals, you know. Talking time with poison ivy. I've been told about you. But Razmanaz is such a balls out tune. We got to get it together. You is the wine, we is the weather. The moment has come to deliver. You is a taker and we is the giver. We gonna resonate it tonight. We gonna resonate it all night. Actually, A-Bear was asking me about that song a little while ago because I posted some lyrics. You is the taker and we is the giver. We won't allow you a second to slow down. It's such a cool fucking... Such a ripper. I won't play the whole thing because I end up getting shut down or we'll be the weather. Still feel like my guitar's not... James, what up, my brother? D, what's up, sister? Cheers to you. The moment has come to deliver. You is the taker and we is the giver. Shoops. Shoot. Shoot, a doo. I hate that I have to use this other mic. I know it probably sounds a little. I hate that I have to use this other mic. I know it probably sounds a little. Sounds really thin. They probably add some mid-range or something to it. One of these days, I'll get a splitter. This might make it sound. Check, check. Whoa, holy shit. Check, check, motherfuckers. Sorry, didn't mean. Jesus Christ, this fucking mic. They could have, like, did a little less quality on the fucking intensity of it. Like, holy shit. This thing could pick up a mouse whisper from a mile away, but it just doesn't sound worth a fuck. Fucking mic. They could have, like, I don't know why it sounds so. It's just odd. I guess it's because of the room. Omnidirectional. It's kicking though. Hot like me in the morning. Laura, what up, sister? The moment has come to deliver. You is the taker and we is the giver. Jen Psaki hour. I told you guys, I've done well not fucking bitching about some of these folks because it's hard to put my finger on something specific. You know, like you guys know, I try to be, I don't try, I'm as honest as I can possibly be with you guys. So usually if I'm struggling with something, I won't mention it. But like all the motherfuckers calling for Biden to step down. I don't know what to say. You guys tell it. There was no good solution, right? Like I heard some dumbass saying that the other day that maybe it was Jen Psaki actually saying that we would have benefited from a primary. Like it was too late. It was too late when Biden decided to step down. It was too late to have a primary. If he had stepped down before the primary, then absolutely we just should have had a primary because that's what democracy is about. I never have a regret running or voting for Kamala. Do we have better candidates than her? Probably, but who? I mean, she has the experience. Do I want her to run again in 2028? I don't know. It's very tough, right? We don't want to lose again. And it's not that I don't have faith in her or someone like her. But these fucking left-wing liberal talking heads, I think I really appreciate this Andrew Callahan. He's a youngster. He's 28-ish. Being completely middle of the road, not just to be middle of the road. He's just not afraid to bring the good and bad. And though he leans left, I kind of look at myself the same way, though I'm not near as good at this shit as he is. I think I am pretty much middle of the road, but lean left. It's I think, being honest with you guys, something I've struggled with is being real vocal about shit that I'm not happy with on the left, because nothing, I keep telling myself, look, it's, for one, you can't expect perfectionism. But how do you you don't ignore really bad, ugly shit like Trump being a rapist and complete kleptocracy, autocracy moves that they're making, but there wasn't a lot of great examples, right? Unless you wanted to be nitpicky. But when they found the documents in Biden's garage, I was on his ass about that. And maybe some of y'all don't remember, but I was, because we can't have that shit. Did I think he was up to no good? Absolutely not. But you can't have that shit. But you gotta be calling it out. If you're on the left, you gotta be calling that shit out on the left. It's easy to call the shit out on the right. James 2028. James, can I be your secretary of flamethrowers? But I guess to finish my thought, obviously Psaki was very close to Biden, and she understood just what kind of shape he was in. He hasn't deteriorated, he's just gotten older. Look at how much time has passed, and we just, last month or whatever, did his, streamed his public address. He's no dummy. And he's not fucking drooling on himself needing to be fucking fed soup. Right? I mean, he's still 10 times more aware and self-aware and aware of the realities of our country than Trump is, clearly, right? So that pisses me off that they came after Biden like that. And especially I almost feel like some of them have given a green light to do it more so after Harris lost. It's like, what the fuck is that all about? I have to say, it's all very strange. I don't do these scenarios, what ifs, because it's just, it's kind of a waste of time, right? Sometimes it can give you insight on something, but like I've talked a few times about power corrupting and, you know, how would it affect any one of us, especially like at my age or, us Gen Xers and older. How would it affect us now? How would it have affected us 30 years ago when we were youngsters? I just can't imagine. There's just no fucking way in hell. Seriously, like, how does Pete Hegseth, how would he have any more um, experience or qualifications to be the Secretary of Defense than I would? I mean, he did serve as, I don't know, what did he do? He served as like a media, as like a Marine spokesman or something, didn't he? James, did anybody find out why the fuck White House didn't vote that day, James? Yeah, I like him too. Why the fuck did he not vote again? Why was he absent on that vote against the tariffs? I mean, this is bullshit because the tariffs are now, I believe, exactly where they were when Trump was sworn in. And not that it matters. I don't know. I feel like the people who are aware, whether they're on the right or the rest of us, of how much bullshit it is, are completely burnt out. I'm not. I mean, I get there at times, but you just fucking take a minute, you re-energize. What the fuck, it's like, not only did he bring his shit right back to where it was, all that money and all those gains in the stock market gone. Yeah, right on, James. Yeah, I was just curious, brother. Am I yelling at you guys? I got my headphones on, and I'm aware of this other, even though it picks up like a motherfucker. Can't have that shit, but you gotta. I am. I'm screaming at you guys. Why aren't you telling me to reel it in? Hey, Bear, do you see my painting? Do you see my half done painting behind me? I don't know. I'd probably get in trouble. Jesus Christ, this thing is just fucking maxing out. Check, check. Woo! Wow. All right, I'm getting that weight on there. It's it's Courtney Love when she posed nude, semi-nude. She had stockings on. Though she was sitting on this, like on some sort of step somewhere. I watched that documentary about Hole's drummer the other night. It was pretty sad. Everybody, holy shit! I thought, I was pretty fucked up back when my band was playing out all the time in the 90s in bars and listening to bands like Nirvana and Hole and covering their tunes. Man, all those people were fucking stoned out of their goddamn mind. I don't know how they did anything. I I don't want to get into it. It's such a deep thought. But I always had a thing for Courtney Love, but she was such a fuck up bitch, I'll tell you. Oh yeah, 'cause I was just hitting my vape pen. Well, you probably didn't notice I was looking to see if there's anything left in it. I have I have my dabs on the other side of the monitor, but I got to use my torch and my fucking nectar collector, and I hit that. I did it once, and it's a rig, right? Like I'm sitting with a torch and a fucking nectar collector. You know? I don't know if that's how you smoke crack or not. I've never smoked crack, so I think you have to heat crack up in a piece of glass or something like that. But yeah, so that's how they got. Uh, and I don't know if there's actually still shots of me out there um, doing a dab. And them guys, I wouldn't be surprised because it was that live stream was up for a while. I don't ever fucking worry about that shit. I still am not worried about it, but there's probably fucking crackheads or meth heads that are looking at that meme if they made one going, "That's not how you smoke meth, motherfuckers. That's not how you smoke meth." Yeah, I paint, Darlene. Fucking A. I have a lot of issues. I'd like to be painting more. I really want to. I I owe Laura a pen and ink, her pen and ink logo, if I could even locate that anymore. But I really seriously want to paint her profile picture. Darlene, there's a link to my humble. There's a link to my humble art video. It's 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 a mix of I've always done all kinds of different stuff. I mean I've done do polymer clay sculptures, wood carving, huge paper mache sculptures. I'd really like to be able to afford carving foam carving foam blocks like they do huge parade floats with. Oh my god, I could get off on that. Actually, I gotta do a BRB a second, so I'll play this video of my artwork while I'm off, alright? Alright, you guys hang tight. I'll be right back.
Are pretending that they're all shocked. Oh my goodness, they're all shocked at the fact that Donald Trump would do this. That this is a thing, that he's selling these meme coins to these outside investors, and this is a way for foreign investors to have influence, without having to be paid registered lobbyists. Like Pam Bondi was a lobbyist for Qatar. They don't need registered lobbyists to lobby Congress or to lobby the federal government. When you can just buy Trump meme coin or whatever, his Trump coin or whatever it's called, you could buy that and then gain influence directly from Trump because you are a now Trump coin investor. Who could have possibly warned anybody about this grift and the possibility that Donald Trump would use these sort of things in order to enrich himself and to enable himself to be have his campaign funded and also have just money coming into him from people who typically wouldn't be able to donate to campaigns and who shouldn't be having that much influence on the president of the United States. I'll tell you who said that. I said that. Rose said it too. I said that specifically, and I said that during the election. I said when Donald Trump came up with his Trump watches, or the concept of a watch, because the website clearly said that the watches may or may not be made. It was kind of like a Kickstarter watch thing or whatever. There was no promise of delivery. You were just being able to buy a Trump watch or Trump sneakers or Trump Bibles or any of the other grifts that he comes up with. And this would be a way that rich, wealthy, whatever folks from other countries, especially ones that are, our enemies, and other ones that are also maybe not officially enemies but are not trustworthy, to be able to have
all right, I'm back.
Influence.
Did you guys get to hear some liberal Dan?
United States.
I was just
this is why more people need to listen to Liberal Dan Radio. Talk from the left. That's right, because I told everybody about this back during the campaign, but unfortunately, as some people have said, Liberal Dan Radio is the best podcast that you're not listening to. Well, not y'all, because y'all listen to it because y'all are watching, but many other people aren't. And the fact that there are people in the media who are now surprised and shocked about this, that they're now, oh my God, this is a way that Trump could, yes, we know. People who pay attention know. People who paid attention knew that Donald Trump was going to be able to get funds from foreign interests in violation or circumvention of our laws, whether they campaign finance laws or whether or not they're lobbying laws or whatever other laws might exist on the books. Emoluments clause, laws, all those sorts of things.
Emolument clause law.
Radio Talk from North is right. If you're a current listener of Liberal Dan Radio, you already knew this. Y'all are intelligent people. Y'all are well-informed people. But if you see anybody who's surprised about this,
let's let Dan know that I boosted his shit. She said I finally found it, what I was looking for. So when I paint, or when I used to paint, I've talked about it. I hate going on about repeating shit that probably is boring to some of you folks, but it was a really cool process, though not a very healthy one. I was big into sleep deprivation when I first started painting, because I felt like, you guys know, I'm a little wound for sound, so it like would mellow me out. And I felt like I did best once I was spending literally 3 days straight, you know, with maybe a nap and some food here and there and a shower once in a while in those 3 days. Like, you just, I don't know. You can't do the shit with, I could never, you can't do that kind of shit with music unless you're Brian Wilson, I guess, right? Like, you can't just fucking drop out of society and lock yourself in a studio. Well, I mean, I suppose you could writing and recording, but then I've done that before too, and it doesn't, and then when you're back to your normal frame of mind, shit doesn't sound quite as good as you thought it did. But I feel like painting something different. Like, once it's on the canvas, that's it. And there is no, you know, I don't know. I'm old now. It's not a healthy thing. I would love to do like a 3-day marathon painting stream where I didn't sleep, or where I just, whatever, 2 days, 48 hours, 72 hours, have a painting worked out, and then just go to town and see if I can get it finished in a couple days. All right, let's let Dan know. Did I already talk? I switched over, didn't I? God damn it. I'm yappy. And to think I wasn't sure about doing a stream. You guys go raid Dan's
Back to my
stream.
politics that I'm just, you know, can't even remember the nerdy thing. Funnily enough,
I don't know why. I mean, his channel's the same size as mine. He gets a lot more. He gets a lot more viewer. Like, right now he's got 30 viewers in his lives, and that's what he gets, 30, 40, 50 viewers live, which is pretty good. But he's on top of the shit. Motherfucker, he's very well versed and doesn't just run his mouth about stupid crap. Like, he's informed about what he speaks on.
or did they know back then that it was going to be named after Captain Archer? Who knows? Yes, Suzanne, Scott Bakula did NCIS New Orleans too. I've watched most of the NCIS episodes. I didn't start watching NCIS from the beginning, but I did watch all the other ones from the beginning, like NCIS, like Sydney, Los Angeles, Hawaii, and New Orleans. And one of the things,
Oh my God. And that big hook. Big hook, big hook. That chatter he calls in. Holy man, I asked him about coming on our stream and chatting. Like, I need to get something figured out for just a phone number, a call in, right? Like, I could set up StreamYard and people I wouldn't have to put up their picture or anything, just their audio. So it'd basically be the same thing, but I hate streaming with StreamYard. It's just, I can't do what I want, music-wise, for one. I have figured out how to share screens and all that stuff in different files from my computer, but holy fuck, that guy he's great. Oh my God, is he great. I can't even explain.
the Voyager is still one of my favorites. Voyager is really good. You know, I'm not, you know, I don't think I was, you know, I'm not, I've never seen an example of anybody else doing this on any other NCIS episode ever. And it made me wonder, is this something that people do, or is this just a quirk of this particular thing, or is there a reason for this quirk? And they never really explained it. Anyway. Hey, Laura, good to see you. Thank you for popping in. Let's see. The Voyager is still one of my favorites. Voyager is really good. I'm not, I don't think I was as big on Voyager as the other ones, but anyway. Let's see. What is the topic I want to talk about next? So we talked about the Chinese crypto. Let's see. So, Donald Trump was talking about the new interim leader of Syria.
All right.
And he was talking about the new interim leader of
Syria. Thank you, Dan. We love you, brother.
Right here.
I love you. All right, let me get back to you guys. Let me find you. Wow. Jim Wedge and Fred Knott in the hizzy dizzy. What's up, fellas? A-Bear says if you're going to play your art reels TV, I'm going to make a reel of some 3,000 Gumby. A-Bear, I wish you would. Do it, sister. I know my camera's in. I probably am cutting the top of my head off. A-Bear, make a Gumby reel. Then I can run that shit like when I do my BRBs. James says the Giants and the Niners for championship. Fred says James bourbon is a vegetable, 51% corn by law. Corn liquor. Corn liquor. Corn liquor, corn silk, and a corn cob pipe. Corn liquor, corn cob. Corn liquor, corn silk, and a corn cob. Corn liquor, smoking corn silk from a corn cob pipe. Corn liquor, smoking corn silk from a corn cob pipe. Got my truck, a girl and her sister. Yeah, tonight's the night. Got my truck, a goat and her sister. We're writing MAGA tunes tonight. Fred says that is a cornhole liquor. Corn liquor, smoking corn silk from a corn cob pipe. Old King Tide is a cornhole liquor. He's got himself a goat tonight. Corn liquor, smoking corn silk from a corn cob pipe. King Tide is, old King Tide is a cornhole liquor. He's got himself a goat tonight. Oh my God, that's too funny. I'm gonna be honest, you guys ever smoke corn silk? I have. I did. Probably actually through a corn cob pipe, like an actual one that was made to smoke from. But we had made some fresh corn cob pipes too. It's what you did when you were like fucking a 10, 11, 12-year-old troublemaker. And you weren't brave enough or couldn't get your hands on some fucking marijuana leaves. Some fucking male dope, male plants. Fred says he loves busting on Tide because you know him and Dave and watch. Man, Tide has really fucking lost his mind. Like, you know, I don't know. I can't hold grudges, right? Like, there's a couple of them that, anyway, I'll never be able to even be quite completely open with you guys what I think about a couple of them, but, like, I could get, I could never, like, have much respect for Tide. I mean, because there's just never any reason to, like, spew the ridiculous shit that's, and it's not just one or two things, right? It's just, like, a whole, and, do I think, think we're going to change someone like that? Of course not. I'm just curious as to what it is that drives an adult in their 50s to be a complete fucking lunatic. I don't know. So yeah, ball busting it is. Yeah. The Lions are cursed. I honestly, I just even this last season, right? I told Mrs. V, I said, look, I'm not gonna cheer against them, but I won't cheer for them until they make it to the Super Bowl. I don't give a fuck if they're in the fucking NFC Championship game, playoffs. I don't care. Yeah, Tide got all up in his feels too yesterday with me. He's like, TV, I just give you back what you give to me, man. Really, dude? I wasn't even fucking pissy. I guess it's got to be a game for him because I do enough of these live streams that it's hard. I don't think anybody in their right mind could say, in general, I am a pissed off person. I'm always irate. I would think in general it's the exact opposite. Like, I just like to have fun and be a goofball and sometimes talk about some serious shit. And certainly I do my fucking rants, you know. I've never had one that I've taken down because I thought it was just too far. There's been plenty that I've listened back to and went, Jesus Christ, Troy, there's just no need for that, you know? Is A-Bear explaining bongs? Am I still yelling at you guys? Bong, 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 bong. Oops. Hold on a second, you guys. I'm going to disappear again for just a minute. I have to find. I got to get my music thing straightened out here a second. How long have we been at this? Hour and a half? What time is it? Oh, it's only 10 o'clock? Sweet. Yes. All right. All right. Well, it's all right now. I learned my lesson well. You can't please everyone. You gotta. God, what did I do the other night? I spent a whole night fucking around with music and got nowhere at the end of it. Well, I might have like tightened up some of the rhythm tracks on some. It was a lot. It was a half a dozen completely. Well, I don't know if it's wasted hours. Nothing new recorded, anyways. Anyways, now if I can get rid of that bubble. Joint was my fucking doobie was still burning. You know, I hate that. Like 5 years in now of streaming, I still can't seem to get my streaming software under control. I'm completely ADHD. Hey, if I share this documentary with you guys, will you watch it? Oh my God, it's so good, you guys. And there's not a ton of music in it, so even though it's about like this, he's an artist, but this is why I don't watch like crime dramas and movies in general because life is taxing enough. But man, as an artist who struggles with like some of the same issues this guy has, it's ridiculous. I've never heard. I was like, I love Bob Dylan. For me is like, I could give you guys other examples of bands, but Bob Dylan for me had a few tunes that I really, really love. I mean, it was because of him that I learned to play the harmonica and started out doing that acoustic guitar and harmonica thing, and with Tangled Up in Blue, and then of course, uh, Knocking on Heaven's Door. And 2 years ago, I discovered the tune The Hurricane, which is incredible. But this dude is like an abstract poet. Bob Dylan is able to function normally and take care of himself. This guy, unfortunately, isn't anymore, but God, it's so good. What the hell, James? Use a VPN. Yeah, James, I have that issue too. Like, James, sometimes if I play certain music in my stream, when I go back to clean it up, or it'll say copyright claim, this video, your video is unavailable in certain countries. And if it's only like Australia or the UK, it'll tell me. Yeah, I think he was mentioned in that documentary, Fred. In fact, they may have talked to him a little bit. That name sounds familiar, Jesse Wells. I just watched it like very early this morning. It's so good, brother. It's so good. Like, I don't harp on about documentaries much, but the one with Hole's drummer, I forget her name, and this Daniel Johnson. I mean, holy crap. Like, it was, I stuck with it for a few minutes because the first few minutes, because it just talks about shows when he was a kid and whatever, wanted to always run around with his camcorder or his cassette recorder. And then they played, the first tune they played from him on the documentary was just, it's unexplainable. And later on, obviously, Kurt Cobain was a huge, this guy, he just never, still, even now, I didn't know who the fuck he was. Yeah, this Daniel Johnson could not sing. Well, like, God, it's so weird. He has this incredibly unique timing, and when he does hit the note, like he has a way better voice and sounds way better than I ever could. It's so odd, but when he nails it, it just is like, holy shit. Yeah, you're welcome. I hope you guys do appreciate it. I get deep in my thoughts when I watch stuff like thinking about folks like that, like how um how our society is not conducive at all to folks like that succeeding, just incredibly talented creative folks that you cannot go to. I don't give a fuck who you are, what you are, you cannot learn to be most, you probably don't want to be in the mind of someone like that, a true tortured artist. And not that he's a bad person at all, not by any means. It's just I don't know. I've always found that extremely interesting that there's people in our society that have would be changing the world if we didn't shun them. But I'm not surprised, like a lot of the like Sonic Youth kind of hung out with them before they got huge. I wasn't surprised at all to hear that like a lot of the grunge, or some of the grunge bands like Nirvana and Pearl Jam had supported his music and stuff. And it's like that's exactly what it remind, like I wonder now when Kurt Cobain first heard this guy, because some of Kurt's stuff was God, what was the song that I first started playing? Can't believe I can't remember the title now. Underneath the bridge in the... Something in the way. Like that style of Nirvana is just, I would not be surprised if Kurt was completely influenced on some of those tunes by this cat. Mac, what up, mother brother? Mac, I was thinking about that Pretenders tune the other day. Such a great fucking bass line. Do-do-do. I had learned it at one time.
You've got the all-new Caesars Palace Online Casino.
Woo! You guys probably can't see it. I'm a little surprised about that. Gave me a little goosebumps. That is such a tasty fucking tune. There was no train station. Hey, oh, where to go, Ohio. Wow, 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 wow. Fred says, hold on, Fred, let me bring it up. I don't know how loud it'll be, you guys, so.
Big red batteries, they used to be blue 15 minutes ago, but they turned red just for me. I got me a red horse and I ride it. Got some blue friends, they're the best. We used to fly around the world on a big jet plane they call the Lolita Express. I got me a red tie and it's 10 miles long and it matches my red hat. I got me a red bird and a red fish, a red dog and a red cat, and I got me a red pen and I use it. I got a big red chainsaw too. My red friend likes that white powder, makes his arms do weird salutes. When the war gets here, we're all gonna hold hands, all the Baptists and the Catholics. I got me a red house and a red car. runs on big red batteries. They used to be blue 15 minutes ago, but they turned red just for me. I got me a red horse and I ride it. Got some blue friends, they're the best. We used to fly around the world on a big jet plane they call the Lolita Express. I got me a red tie and it's 10 miles long and it matches my red hat. I got me a red bird and a red fish, a red dog and a red cat. And I got me a red pen and I use it. I got a big red chainsaw too. My red friend likes that white powder, makes his arms do weird salutes. When the war gets here, we're all gonna hold hands. All the Baptists and the Catholics. Got me a red house and a red car, runs on big red batteries. They used to be blue 15 minutes ago, but they turned red just for me. I got me a red horse and I ride it. Got some blue friends, they're the best. We used to fly around the world on a big jet plane they call the Lolita Express. I got me a red tie and it's 10 miles long and it matches my red hat. I got me a red bird and a red fish, a red dog and
Jesus Christ, Fred, that's good as hell. I don't know how many times we went through that loop, but that's fucking killer. God, what did he say? I got me a friend who does white stuff and it makes his hands do funny salutes. That's fucking killer. Killer Diller. I subscribed. I don't know if you were crying about us not listening to the music you post, Fred, but you can quit your fucking bitching now. Now I need to learn that dude's tune. Why are you posting shorts? Let me see if I can get back. Let me see if I... See, that's the thing I don't... Oh, maybe I can. Never mind. I was going to cry about not being it. Holy, for fuck's sake, he's got fucking 500,000 subscribed. He should. He doesn't look as young in the other ones as I thought in that short. What was the name of that tune? Red is Out Wednesday? No. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's the cat. Maybe they talked to that dude in that documentary, but I thought it was like all older folks pretty much that were... Well, except for some fucking band in his hometown, some kids that were jamming with him. Yeah, that's good shit. There's no doubt about it. You're all right, Fred. I don't care what anybody else says. I gotta find some place to put my harmonica holder. This is getting to be a classic TV two-piece. I think I've had this since I was 19. First guitar I bought on my own was a Fender acoustic 12-string and this harp holder. And so that would have been 1989. Can you guys do math? 36 years, I guess. Yeah. 36 years old. It's about fucked. This was clear. That's what fucking bars and stuff do, or, you know, just being a fucking smoker and partying or whatever. That's what that shit does to it. Turns it yeller. Man, I can't get that cat sock out of my head now. That's pretty creepy. It is an antique. Fred says he's 30. That looks about right. In that short, I was guessing him to be like fucking 18 to 22 or something. I'm not kidding you. So anything else groovy going on, you guys? Just like everything's been pretty normal, right? Or quiet considering. I know the market lost what, another 100 points today after losing 300 points yesterday. What was it? Monday was 1,100 point gain in the Dow. Yeah, 100 points today, 250, 260 points yesterday. So almost 400 point, 1,100 point gain, right? Monday? Fred probably knows. I think that's what it was. Closed up 1,100 points. Just the Dow now, obviously. And some of the other markets like the S&P and NASDAQ are getting big enough where or are big enough where when they have bad days or good days, it's newsworthy. So, you know, almost 400 points of that 1,100 point gain on Monday because of the fucking him just simply backtracking on tariffs to where they were. It's like, you know, Trump's first term, I was like, all right, whatever. I knew what kind of person he was personally at that point, right? Because I had done my fucking homework just right when he's in 2015. Like, I didn't know much about him other than he was an asshole. But then I looked into seeing just how he works. So even in his first term, I was like, all right, you know, if he's going to do anything to improve America without, you know, ruining our relationships overseas and all that good stuff, let's do it. But he never, like, a trade deal with China, repeal and replace. I was for those two things. I can't, infrastructure, which he never did, right? Really, honestly, I mean, repeal and replace, if it could have happened without any of the 40 million folks that were able to get insurance, you know, once the ACA was enacted, nothing changed for them. But again, that just, you know, being a team player as an American, wanting to, if Trump had ideas that seriously would have improved America's situation, you know, our future, our growth, any of that, the health of our nation's people, I was all for it, right? Who wouldn't be? This time, it's like, I think every one of his policies need to fail because what he says about we need to, you know, the things we all want, which all politicians say, we're going to make this better and better and that better, right? but his policies, and even at least most politicians, the policies they push support what they told us campaigning. Does it? Unfortunately, this shit doesn't happen often enough, and for a lot of reasons, right? We're a democracy. But Trump's policies don't support what, even the fucking campaign rhetoric, right? So it's very hard to want to support this ass bag and all. But like if he could have, I guess my thought was that if he could have just came in and left shit the way it was, and then just tried to like push his conservative agenda without totally disrupting shit, is it not hard to? I never thought Trump is a very smart person. I don't give a shit what he knows book wise or what he has able to learn and retain and recall as far as procedures go in legal business matters. That has nothing, literally nothing to do with having an understanding of how life works, right? It doesn't, right? So he's fucking nuts in that sense, but I just don't I don't see that he was conniving or scheming enough to have been able to. And you guys, maybe like Fred, maybe you could tell me if I'm wrong. I assume there are folks out there, and probably around Trump, that are smart enough to know that this was possible. Like they could have purposely disrupted the markets to make millions and millions of dollars, and probably avoid any sort of insider trading charges, right? Or even though, I mean, honestly, I feel like they've done this scam 3 times now in the last 2 weeks. Is it not every time Trump opens his fucking mouth ahead of time, is that it's affecting the markets? If he tells anybody what he's going to say ahead of time in a presser regarding tariffs, trade deals, or the stock market, that's, I don't know, that's insider information. Is it to the point of being illegal or a crime? I don't know. Am I yelling at you guys again? All right, Darlene, be good. Yeah, Fred says they did put out bills to remove tax on tips, Social Security, and sort out overtime. It's sort of overtime. You know what? I'm opposed. I had a really good conversation late last year or before the election with Human Being about the tax on tips, because I worked in food service my whole life. And I was out in, like, it's I'm still up in the air with it, because Human made a really, really good fucking point. And Human's a professional, right? Like, so he made his money. He was smart, went to school, worked his ass off, and made money. And he is still very much for, rallying behind folks that didn't go to school, even though they may have had a choice, right? And like, servers would always make 3 times what I would make in a night cooking, and I was, it's such a thing. And I wonder if I'm being nitpicky sometimes, but like, I just feel like when you're paying a server, and I don't know if they have to be paid minimum wage here in Michigan now, which is like federal minimum wage or whatever. But it was literally shit money. It was $2.50 an hour, $3 an hour, right? When minimum wage was $7 an hour or whatever. Like bartender servers. But like our older crew, the bartenders, holy fuck, man, these ladies would fucking bank way back then. It was like they're making fucking ridiculous amounts of money. And those are tips, and they are still like lower middle class income level, right? So it's hard to say, hey, you need to keep fucking taxing these folks. Look, if it can be paid for, I say stop taxing. You know, obviously anybody in poverty level income doesn't pay any federal tax. It probably doesn't pay any state tax. I've been there myself when we had all the kids, right? Because of all the tax credits and shit with kids. There were plenty of years we didn't fucking pay taxes, pay in. Right on, Mac. Mac says TV trying to stay motivated, but practice trying to get back into it. Mac, I don't know if you've seen on one of my videos too, one of my buddies, a local friend had, I was trying to get him to, he's always played guitar, right? And we tried putting a band together back in 2001 or something like that. And it didn't work, but a few years ago, I was telling him, like, man, dude, I need a bass player. And he's got a good voice. I don't know how much singing you want to do, but yeah, he's trying to learn some of the lay down some, come up with some bass riffs for some of my tunes too, Mac. You guys are two completely different styles, though. Like, he's all heavy metal. Fred says federal minimum wage for servers is $2.13 an hour, right? So, like, if you do away, you know, if when, like, they don't get paid shit for the most part, though I can guarantee it's different around here. I'm sure there are bartenders and servers that make, I don't know, my sister is still a bartender server, but if there's a way to pay for it, that's great, right? You know, Pete's kind of changed my life. Like, it's always been easy to say, we always need, you know, always say, oh, we need, you know, we're always taxed too much no matter what level income you are. And I think it's been bred into me and maybe into most of us. But it's like now that and sure, maybe it's easier for me to say now because I live a much more modest life. Like, there's not money going out the fucking window like nobody's business, right, every day. Like 20 years ago when you have a huge family, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, I'm proud to fucking pay taxes and contribute. Seriously. Like, I want to see and do more to help folks get to the point where they're like, fuck yeah, I'm paying property taxes and I'm paying local taxes and I'm helping to contribute to this and I'm pushing for more social programs so the taxes that I am paying is improving the folks down the road. I need to really sit down or maybe A Bear, if she's still listening, would think on it. Like, I really think the scenario of me not being near as well off, no matter what situation I'm in, if my neighbor is sick and now unable to work or make his house payments, or if he's working and doesn't have insurance, right? And his health is going down and he doesn't know how much longer he's going to be able to stay working, right, and continuing his house payments, right? Like how is, you know, whatever it is, I'm not the mathematician, I'm not the economist or financier. But there is a number, and it's a small number of what we all have to give, or if we could just get fucking spending under control on the right and left, right? You guys hear that? On the left with stupid shit. I'm for any, whether it's, you know, because we can't expect perfectionism, like I said earlier, but even if it's not, you know, not the most efficient way of doing things, like with the U.S. aid thing, you know, like obviously there's always room for improvement. Is there never going to not be? Is there ever going to not be room for improvement in any financial aspect of anything, whether it's a family, home, or a fucking government, right? Yeah, Mac says I got a sweet slow blues and C really fun to play. Mac, you know, I love Led Zeppelin so much. And like their best shit is in C. And I also understand I don't know, I'm still learning my, you know, I'm still learning my transitions. And so, but I've been messing around with stuff in the key of C more because it's very tasty. Yeah, Fred says servers never claim all their cash tips anyways. Right. And though that's probably changing some, Fred, like since when I was in the business, in the late 90s, I mean, I worked Greasy Spoon in 2014, 2015. But like a lot of people write in tips with a credit card payment nowadays, you know, or have for years. But I'm betting that people are, I don't know. I'm so old fashioned, I guess, in some ways. Like, I assume not a lot of people pay with cash anymore. Maybe they still leave a cash tip. I don't know. But for sure, they wouldn't claim. Like, you know, I think some, and I don't know how much there were laws, but like some businesses would require servers to claim 10% of their total sales, period. So they better be making 10% tips because that's what he's going to force them to claim, right? It's ridiculous anyways that I'm scared for folks that are going to have their Social Security cut. I mean, it's already crazy the different cuts that are being made that are to social programs, SNAP, Medicaid, Medicare. It's like, holy fuck. Thankfully, and I don't know, I'm still learning so much, and I'm never going to be able to learn fast enough or enough to keep myself from having some anxiety. But like, you know, Michigan has what's called a My Child, and we had to use it for, now I haven't had minor children at home for years, but it was $5 a month per child for like basic Medicaid. That's the kind, you know, everybody can pay something, you know, or for the most part, hopefully, you know, even as poor as we were at the time, it was well worth it to pay $5 a month per kid to have medical insurance. You know, not that they would turn you away if you had an emergency, but why do that, right? And and I don't know how it is now because there's been more nightmares about the ship, right? About, as far as I know in Michigan, it doesn't matter who the fuck you are. If you go into emergency room and you have an actual emergent, I don't even know if you would have to, like, you may just be able to walk in with stitches, needing stitches in your hand with no insurance, and they would probably hook you up, knowing that they may never get the money. Yeah, Fred says 70 million folks will get fewer food stamps. All right, hang tight a second, you guys. I'll be right back. All right, Laura. Yeah, I'm getting ready to sign off. I'm going to keep the stream up, but I'm going to make my camera window small, and I'm gonna stay live and work on some music. So any super bored folks that have nothing to do can watch me sitting here with my guitar on my lap, thinking. I appreciate you folks, though. You know I do. And I'll see y'all soon, alright? Like I said, I am going to stay live, but peace and love. Be good. TV2 out. Ooh, here's a little she said. From Macaroni.
Just in case, 'cause you know we'll always be friends. And I found what I was looking for all of this time. And it was always right here in front of my eyes. I finally found it. She said I finally found it. She said I finally found what I was looking for. What I was looking for. She said I finally found it. She said I finally found it. Said I finally found what I was looking for. What I was looking for. She looked at me and said, "We had fun. Now don't you ever call me again." I'll be around just in case. You know we'll always be friends. You and I've been down this road too many times. The answer's always been right here in front of my eyes. I finally found it. She said I finally found it. She said I finally found what I was looking for. She said I finally found it. She said I finally found it. Said I finally found what I was looking for. What I was looking for.
Mac, what's the chord progression on that? Uh, what is it? C, F, and G? C, F, and G? C, F, and G, right on. Is it a basic do, 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 do? Do you know what the BPM is? I am not yeah, I got a lot of work to do playing lead in C, but I found some neat little or some shit to help me out when I was just searching how people write intros, because I know you know, or a good way to a foundation is just to use your root notes, right, for a tune. Start with the melody and break it down. Yeah, I need to practice playing slower. I mean, I don't mind some slow stuff. Like I never played really too slow, like don't wow now don't do little bump wow don't do do bump ba. But it's I mean, you know how it is, Mac. You're a good bass player, dude. You understand it. That's for damn sure. Did I already ask you if you play with a pick or without? Both, maybe? Not that it matters, but like whenever I would was trying to lay down bass tracks on the acoustic guitar, right? One string in the one note in the E string. There was just some shit I wanted to do that I could not do with it, even though I'm a heavy metal guitar player and I got a pretty fucking quick pick and can do some gallops. It wasn't the same as galloping with your fingers, right? And I'll fuck around on an acoustic guitar just playing like with without a pick. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I don't take anything away from bass players at all that use a pick, obviously, right? But for some reason, it just seems like that's a more natural, fluid way to do it is without a pick. Plus, if you want to do some slapping and popping, right? Pop, 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 pop. I don't know what to do, Mac. That latest hippie tune, I'm now calling Turquoise Tulips. I got some clean, I think I got it pretty much the structure, but the last end of it, last half of it is got all fucked up for some reason, somehow. So I just split it, hit a breaking point earlier. See, I feel like right there that it's just rocking. It's just moving. And then, I don't know, it starts losing its fucking, like it starts slacking or something. I don't know. See, I don't have lyrics, and I don't know that I'll put lyrics to it because I'm not much of a fucking singer. I really got to feel it. But I want to do. I don't have a problem with it being an instrumental, but like I can't just riff off through the whole thing. Like I need to do some lead guitar just fills like that. chunk. Max says he's tried slapping. I think, yeah, it's probably. I certainly can't do it, Mac. Buenarnero. Yeah, I hate leaving shit half done. I don't know what to do with some of this stuff. I got a couple 3 tunes that don't have lyrics. Don't know if I can put anything to them. Not sure how I want to finish them up. I'm itching to write something else, but I can't force it. I haven't had nothing coming to me the last couple days. That's why I just sit and will fuck around with different drum tracks or just a basic click track. I don't know why, but that song like reminds me of the Grateful Dead style. Do chicka do chicka do like fucking hippie country. Yeah. I named that. I'm named it Turquoise Tulips. Because like I said, remind me of the Grateful Dead, and I always like, I'm not a huge Dead fan at all, but I like Sugar Magnolias and Scarlet Begonias. Scarlet Begonias. That's good shit. Probably get nailed for it, but I gotta go do a BRB a second. I'm picky about my like, it's cool Fish has a shit ton of fucking versions of tunes out there. Here we go. This one was pretty good. The first time I seen Fish was on Austin City Limits on PBS. ...2004 or something like that. Like, I had never heard them before that, and this song was the first tune that they played, I think. I'll be right back. Jesus. That's so good. I love hippie shit, man. I do. And the lyrics are killer. When I first jumped off, I had a bucket full of thought. When I first jumped off, I held that bucket in my hand. Tears that would take me all around the world. I stood and watched the smoke behind a mountain curl. Took me a long time to get back on the train. So fucking cool, man. So cool. Stood and watched the smoke behind a mountain curl. How the hell do you write that shit? Boom, 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 do, 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 do. I'm sure I played it at one time or another, Mac. That and Smoke on the Water. Or, God damn it, what's the Fog Hat tune? Slow Ride. Slow Ride. Take it easy. Slow ride. You know the rhythm is right. Wow, 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 wow. And get ready. Get ready. Man, I've watched quite a bit of Fish shows, but still probably gonna be disappointed for life that I can't find. They did a festival where they just played for like 2 or 3 days at an abandoned airport in Wisconsin, I believe it was. And I can't find it. There's a couple tunes. They're Birds of a Feather. Those guys are nuts. Stealing Time from the Faulty Plan. There's a really good live version of that. Black Betty. And I don't know if he'd still have it up. I don't know if I copped the clip or not. My old bandmate, he is 18 years older than me. So he played in the 70s when I was a kid in like bands and shit, right? And he had a video clip of him and his band at that time in his mom's front yard playing Black Betty. That was a trip, Mac. Bunch of fucking hippies. Holy shit. Bell bottoms and hair for fucking days. Or some of the we covered Fortunate Son. I think we covered Green River for a minute. Trying to think whatever like classic tunes like that. Not a ton. We redid Wild Thing and Burn in Love by Elvis Presley. Maybe we did Tommy and Two Tones. Yeah, Fortunate Son was... I didn't sing on that shit. Some folks are born, made to wave the flag. Yeah, bell bottoms are just were just before my time. I mean, I was born in 1970, but I had long hair and shit until I didn't have hair. But I was never into like the 80s glam rock. I was a metalhead. Oops. I don't know why I can't fucking get my music software back up. There it is. Yeah, that's a good one. And those first four albums, Mac, it took me a long time to understand it, even though I always liked Sabbath and Ozzy and stuff, but like, you know, maybe 10 years ago or so, I was just so sick of like War Pigs and Paranoid and all that bullshit. And I started listening a little bit to like was it Black Sabbath, Volume 4, Sabotage, and then there's one other one. It's not Paranoid, is it? It's Paranoid the fourth album. Anyways, and Iron Man and all that crap, but like, yeah, NIB and Symptoms of the Universe, The Writ. Man, there's some fucking... Ozzy had an incredible voice. Holy shit. I mean, once in a while I joke around, there was the Hit Parader magazine back in the 70s had Gene Simmons lined up against Robert Plant as best like hard rock metal vocalist, and it's laughable. It's the fucking... I wonder, I mean, I was a kid at the time, so I didn't probably pay attention to it. Then I seen that album or that magazine cover later on. It's like, what a fucking joke. But I'll tell you what, Ozzy had that 3-octave range. Supernaut, that's the other one I was thinking of. Yeah, NIB, Supernaut. Yeah, that's good shit. Volume 4 is badass. Sabotage. It's like I think about doing stuff like that because Tony, I mean, I get hung up in a rut trying to write with chord progressions, and I need to fucking get off that and just and noodle around more with single notes to come up with melodies, right? Into the Void.
Geico's 85 years isn't just about time, you know. It means experience. If I told you I'd been jarring raspberry preserves for 85 years...
There's Roy.
That has got to be some scrumptious jam.
Geico.
Oh, maybe it's Masters of Reality. Yeah. Sabotage is the other one, though. So Masters of Reality was the other album I was thinking of. Jesus Christ. You know, people think he's fucking whining, singing nasally, doing falsettos, but he wasn't. Rocket fuels burning fuel so fast. Into the night sky they blast. Yeah, yeah, of course, Rob Halford. Yup. Yeah, Screaming for Vengeance is an all-time great album. Holy shit. Screaming for vengeance. At that last note too, Mac. Holy shit, dude. Now you got me thinking about all kinds of crazy shit. Just a scream. Damn. Good stuff. Electric Eye. That was a killer album. It is a killer album. Geezer Flailed. Yeah, Sabbath was. I've seen like this one dude that I really, a local musician that's a little bit older than me that I really love and respect. He was a guitar player, singer, or whatever, but he was comparing like the older Sabbath albums, the drumming on it, to like John Bonham. And yeah, the shit was heavy. Now I'm drawing a blank for Sabbath's drummer though. Tony Iommi and Geezer Butler and Ozzy and Bill Ward. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when I first started playing back, not out, some parties and stuff early on, we were a three-piece, and I hated it. Like, too, even now, the way I write, it's like, I don't know how Zeppelin ever did it. Like, how Jimmy Page ever, because he was such an orchestrator, right? And it's like to only have one guitar live, you know. Obviously, John Paul Jones did a shit ton of filling with playing bass and the keyboards, but I hated not having a rhythm or another rhythm guitar player at all times, especially during solos. But I would have no problem doing it now. I think the stuff I'm writing, I could fill it up more. Yeah. Rocket fuels burning, rocket engine burning fuels. Hand of Doom.
Liberty. Liberty Mutual is all she talks about since we saved hundreds by bundling our home and auto
Liberty,
insurance.
liberty. Oh yeah. Your love for me has just got to be real. Before you know the way I'm going to feel. I'm going to feel. I'm going to. Human, what's up, mother brother? Cheers to you, my homie domie. Two reels. I've been thinking about you, dude. I hope you're settling into the new homestead. Like you got a new acoustic guitar and electric guitar last year, right? And a new house this year. You're fucking styling, brother. That's good shit. I'm serious. I mean, I don't know if it's evident or not, but I love sitting up here in my fucking homie domie. Rocking out, yapping with macaroni. Writing songs about King Tide licking fucking cornholes. I can't even remember that now. Can't even remember. Oh, drinking corn liquor, smoking corn silk through a corn cob pipe. King Tide's a cornhole liquor. You know something ain't right. You need to fucking get that shit unpacked, human. Stop fucking around, dude. I miss you, brother, but yeah, we don't see you a lot lately, as I'm sure you're aware of that. You don't yap a whole lot. I don't take it personally or nothing, but we miss you. But regardless if we miss you or not, you need to fucking get your boxes unpacked. Lucky I don't have your wife's email, because I'd be like working in conjunction with her to get that shit. Yeah, I was wondering too. That's awesome that you have a room for the tortoise to boogie around. Boogie, 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 oogie, oogie, till you can't say boogie no more. Boogie no more. Hmm. Uh-oh, see, why is my... Oh, there goes my computer, just restarted. Like, I was freaking out. I was having issues with my guitar for some reason. the audio right before I started the stream. God darn it. I just came across a picture of... There it is. Oops. Uh-oh. That's not the one I wanted. There we go. There's humans. Hard-shelled family member. Chowing down on a nice looking salad. Yeah, my support PC that I got all my guitar and all that shit running through is wanted to restart for some fucking reason on its own. She quit. Oh, that's awesome. It'd be too cold up here for one of her cousins, but that would be great, having to take out the... Like, I was mowing the grass tonight, at about 7 o'clock tonight. Yeah. You have my email, human. You have the channel email. Just fucking send me some pictures whenever you want, brother. Yeah, you need to get a yardstick by her so we can see how big she is. All right, sweet. You rock. Next to a large shoe or something, right? Ba, 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 ba. Mac, what did you think of that Fish song? It's a little funky. I think I've tried to learn it before. I don't even know what key it's in, but... When I first got off, I had a bucket full of thought. My computer's still restarting. I don't know if I... Oh, I do. Didn't know if I had mine. My tears, they would take me all around the world. I stood and watched the smoke behind a mountain curl. Took me a long time to get back on the trail. Lying, cheating, hurting. That's all you seem to do. What are them? Running around every guy in town. Putting me down for thinking I'm someone. This is all I gotta say to you, woman. Alright, you guys. I think it's time for me to shut up.
All right, you guys.
Alright, you guys. Mac, human. Be good. You know what I mean, jelly beans?
Guys. All right, you 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 guys.
I'll see you soon. Be good. Peace and love. TV2 out. Alright.
All right, you guys. 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 All right, you guys.